Hey, all right, so we're in Gem, Kansas, and I've done a little quick video of this before, this place, and it is this little tiny town, and it has the most amazing abandoned school. There's no way you can go into it. Structurally, it looks horrible, but it's also like the largest structure here in town. It's also in the middle of everywhere, and there's people out and about, so you can't really like go explore it. But you can look at it, and it is super cool. Taking a couple pictures. It's from 1921, and this whole town actually has a whole bunch of abandoned stuff, so that makes it really cool too. So yeah, we're gonna shoot some video here in Gem, Kansas. Last time all I did was click some quick photos. It was like a crappy time of year. It's springtime, it's nice, it's sunny, so let's take some photos and videos today of Gem, Kansas. So as you can see, it was 3 floors with a basement, 1921 schoolhouse. And then we'll shoot some video behind it, but here's the outside here. There's the good old truck. There's a guy mowing. So I usually hook up my microphone to this camera, so I don't know how well the audio is, and I'll get away from my truck, but here's the back end of the school. And we'll get another shot of the other side, but you'll be able to see real quick why you probably don't want to go into this thing. Why is autofocus not on? Focus. Okay. So there's the back end of the school. Sorry, this thing's kind of newer for me. I'm not used to shooting video really with this thing. So hopefully it doesn't get too messed up and weird. I do have it on autofocus now. So needless to say, as you can see, the entire upper floor is collapsed. The ceiling's gone. Second floor is gone. There's the bottom floor. I mean, you really just wouldn't want to go into that structure. It definitely isn't safe. I mean, you could probably poke your head right in that front entrance that we went by and saw where it says 1921. But you definitely wouldn't want to crawl around in there. And there's a reason the locals don't either. As you can see, this old church is pretty cool. The bell is still up in there. There's that. It actually looks pretty structurally sound. There is no going in this walkway here, but it looks pretty good. All right, so hold tight with me real quick. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna hold my big camera because my dash cam's just not gonna be able to pan and take the photos that I want to show you here. We are gonna drive around here in Gem. We're gonna drive around here in Gem, and I'm gonna show you some of the amazing things that are just abandoned here. So let's put the car in drive. So we've already seen the school and the church. Here's an abandoned store right here. It looks really good. This is clearly used to be a post office. It just has the look. So that's definitely the abandoned post office. Now just an abandoned store. Here's another store. This must have been technically Main Street with 3 stores here on the corners. And as you can see, nothing there. That's weird. Here's a little tiny building. Here's some other stuff. Here's a gentleman loading up his motorcycle. But he has right next to him, a big abandoned kind of structure, garage of some type. Let's take a left here. There was like this little tiny, I guess it is a house. I'll have to drive by it. It said for rent, and it looked like something that you would maybe, like a little, like an ice box or ice plant kind of thing. Again, I hope the audio is good. I just didn't feel like digging out the microphone and stuff. And when you have a regular camera, you know, or something, most people don't really give 2 looks at it. But when I have everything attached to this, sometimes it just weirds people out. Like I said, we're in Gem, Kansas here. So I think that little weird house was right here. But half this town is definitely abandoned, and it definitely seems like it. Yeah, so this little white structure right here on the right-hand side, that little place, it said for rent. So if you are looking at, you know, finding a nice rental property out in kind of the boonies of Kansas, I mean, it's got air conditioning. It doesn't have any windows though, and that could be your downfall. There's no windows with it, but it is for rent. So, hey, you don't need windows when you have air conditioning. There's a pretty cool old mashed up car. All right, so we're back in what I would consider Main Street, I guess. Post office, store, the big giant cool church. Well, I guess it's not giant, but big church. Wood structure here. Lived in house, lived in house, lived in house. Like a lot of these, they kind of rough looking, but they're lived in. If you live here and you live in one of those, I'm not being mean, just you should probably throw some paint on your house. Here's a cool old abandoned house right here, just amongst the trees. Yeah, it's got to be abandoned. I mean, if somebody lives in that. And there was another abandoned, looks like what the church is. Here's the main part of the town, the church. I don't know, that one has an air conditioner in it, so maybe it isn't abandoned, which is crazy if it isn't. And then there's some other parts of town, but we're gonna turn around now. There's a couple other abandoned like little houses and stuff, but there's not a lot, because I want to take a picture of this truck over here. So we're gonna stop recording now. And sorry if this thing's not really pointing on my face or doing anything like that, but it's just because I have it just pointed at me. I can turn the screen and look at it, but I don't really care to. So let's just go for a little walk real quick. So this is that house I was saying looked abandoned, but somebody has maintained the yard, and that is an air conditioner. So maybe not. We'll walk up to the front of it. And then here is, I'm guessing was another church. You can tell from the windows on the side. No bell steeple or anything like that. Let's get some pictures of it. So if you read the sign, 125 years. All right, let's go back to driving around a little bit. So we'll go now, turn around. I took some photos of the old cars in the old barn there. Took a photo of the gem. It's 125 years old in 2012. So it's 2019, so it's 132 years old now. Which is older than Miami. Alrighty, there's the mailboxes for the whole town, so that's why there's no post office now. I'm sure the mail comes from Oakley or somewhere close like that. Like I said, there's the church, which seems to be the main building here in town. Kind of a lot of these small towns, that tends to be the main course of action, or the main hub of action, I mean. So here we have a pretty nice metal building, and it's well maintained, and another nice metal building, a horse pin, I'm guessing, or something of that nature. And some of these older houses are really cool too. Like this is a nice looking house if you fixed it up again. Sorry if you live there and you're going to be watching this video, but you know, a couple coats of paint and things like that go a long way. And I'm not coming to you as some kind of handyman construction person or something like that. I'm just, you know, regular dude. Old structure right there and there. That's pretty cool. And that's pretty much town. I think there was one more street. Here we are back by the old school, which is still probably the coolest structure here in town. And I really wish that they would do something with it, or at least not let it just rot away. But let's take a little more video of it. There it is right there. The old school. I mean, it's kind of too far gone at this point, but that's why if you care for these things, you know, that could have been a cool community center or something like that. There was a cool old house. I'm not sure if it was abandoned though. Like I said, some of these houses, and at no point would I ever go into any of these buildings or anything here unless I lived here, because you definitely need to know someone that lives in this town, or actually ask for permission. I'm sure everybody knows who owns what and things like that here. But you know, you would definitely want to do that. There's probably a sheriff or a deputy or someone here in this area, and you know, you wouldn't want the person to be called. There's a cool old car. There's a bunch of old cars in this guy's yard. And I'm sorry, I would pan the camera, but it's just pointless because you're not going to be able to really see a lot. But yeah, that was town. This is the final road going out. There's another yard over there with a whole bunch of old buses and cars and things like that. So anyways, thanks for joining me for this video of Gem, Kansas. Right out here is the tallest structure now in town, the grain mill of some type. I don't know if that's wheat or corn or what, but they have it piled up. There's a truck out there working it, and there's a truck filling it up. So anyways, we're gonna head back to Denver. Thanks for watching.